A lot of them are complete liars. And we're trying to be as transparent as possible and do things on the up and up. And in the blockchain industry,
experts predict in 7 years, 10% of the world's economy will be in crypto-based assets. TOKENMETRICS uses AI to find invisible patterns in data to help you invest and trade in crypto. We give you AI and access to crypto experts at the best price.
It's extremely difficult to do when the other people that you're negotiating, whether it's exchange listings with or investments, private sale investment, it's just a very, very shady industry. And I come from a shady industry, which is the music business, but it is.
I come from a shady industry, which was child protection social work.
Shadiness
everywhere, Eric, wherever human beings gather.
Exactly. But in this space, you're dealing with billions of dollars, and the blockchain industry is supposed to be transparent and open to everyone, and then you go to these conferences and they're charging $5,000 a ticket. It's like it's not really accessible to everyone if you're charging $5,000 a ticket.
Yeah.
I digress. I can go off on a whole tangent about how corrupt I believe the blockchain industry is. So the drop in the Ethereum price, coupled with the shadiness that happens behind the scenes, has certainly hampered our project. But we're still onward and upward as much as possible.
Okay. Well, to your credit, you haven't run off with the money. The time to have run off would have been after the private sale, once you got the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you do a public sale?
Timing and regulation. We could have probably raised over $100 million back in March of 2018. We published our white paper, I think, at the end of November of 2017. We won TechCrunch in the middle of 2017. So between the middle of 2017, which was really kind of like the peak height of ICOs, until March of 2018, that was really the time period to do an ICO. March 2017 to March 2018 was really when the best time was to raise the most amount. But there was also a lot of risk. And the lawyers, like in every industry, were the only ones that were really making any kind of money. They were ripping off projects. They were charging projects $500,000 to $1 million to do SAFT agreements, which is a bunch of bullshit. Mm-hmm. And they were pretending as if they were the SEC, and they were pretending as if they really knew what they were talking about. And they were really, outside of maybe the Howey test, there was really nothing for them to really interpret. And they were giving a lot of false hope to a lot of projects. And for Creator App, we also raised $1 million in equity in Creator App, which is separate. TuneToken and Creator App are separate. We raised $1 million in equities from some of the biggest venture capitalists in the world, Lightspeed Venture Partners, for one. It's the top 5 VC in the world. We have will.i.am as an advisor to Creator App, not to TuneToken, so I want to clarify that.
Right.
And we have Monique Mosley, Idolette Mosley, is one of our investors in Creator App, not TuneToken. And we have the largest angel group in Florida, New World Angels, are investors in Creator App, not TuneToken. So we raised $1 million convertible note for Creator App, and we had obviously a lot of credible investors, and we didn't want to put them at risk for anything that we were doing in the blockchain space, because that wasn't really something that that wasn't something that we had brought to them or that they invested in. So we created a separate company and brought it offshore in Cayman Islands, which is where Tune Software is located. And we did a completely separate raise utilizing the private sale of the Ethereum that I spoke about earlier. And we were just trying to be as cautious as possible, where there were other projects that didn't have any equity investors. They couldn't get any equity investors. They wrote a white paper. They had just an idea. We actually have a product. They had just an idea, and they were raising $30, $50 million, and we're going, cocaine cowboy with it. And good for them. They raised 30, 50, some of them I know $100 million. And I'm not going to specifically name those projects, but I know there's about 70 to 80 projects right now that are under investigation in America. So we avoided that by, number one, not doing a sale to anyone in America. So we didn't even leave the private sale open to accredited investors in America. We stayed completely out of America because everyone was trying to tell us their opinions, and then every day those legal opinions would change. And I realized that it was a bunch of bullshit. So I didn't want to put my company in eyesight of the SEC, and I tried to do things the right way. If I didn't do things the right way, we probably would have raised $100 million. Because I did things the right way, we raised about $1 million.
Right.
So obviously there are people who are upset at me that I didn't just go out there and do it, but I feel like I have a fiduciary responsibility to a lot of people, and we didn't want to be in a situation where, now where some of the projects are now, that they have to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to explain to the SEC what they did and why it's not a security, for example. I didn't want to be in that position. I hate lawyers, hate them.
Okay. Now, the TuneToken is clearly a utility token because there is no dividend or anything like that. It is the way I explain TuneTokens is like if I go to a drinks machine and I put a coin into the drinks machine and then a drink pops out. That's all it is. There's no increase in the value of the coin or anything like that, right, in that process. So I take the TuneToken, I drop it into the TuneToken ecosystem machine, and then I'll get some products and services.
Keep in mind also that back then projects, the SAFT was the sale against future tokens, right? And the way that I interpreted it, and multiple lawyers interpreted it, is that if you didn't have a product that can be used at that time for the token, that it was a security. And for us, we had a product that can be used for the token at that time, where our application, Creator App, was already built. It was built in 2017. It was released in 2017. So before the blockchain stuff happened, our app was already in the App Store. So people could get the TuneToken and use it. Now we're reprogramming and redeveloping some of the use cases. But we launched them a while ago and then we pulled them back out. But the point is that for us, our token is a clear utility, but we still stayed away, even though we didn't. I don't think that we necessarily had to, but we just wanted to be as clean as possible, so we stayed away from US completely.
Sure. Now, one of the things I want to mention where people can get rewards, even though it's a utility, is that through the use of stake swap services, where they hold their coins in the stake swap wallet.
That's right.
In a cold wallet, and then they keep them there for a certain amount of time. It makes it easy for the swap from ERC20 to Clayton protocol, but also for rewards to be given out in up to 9 months, I think it is, right? And people can watch the video with you and Simon to find out more. Tell me, what have you got coming up in the roadmap, and when will this project be fully live?
Yeah. Well, we can't go fully live with it until we build on top of Clayton. So we're in the process right now of doing a test net with the Clayton TuneToken, Clayton, Clayton, get it? So our Clay TuneToken, hopefully we launch within a month or two, and then we do the swap from the ERC20 TuneToken to the Clayton TuneToken. We already have a really, really big announcement of a partnership that we've structured with one of the biggest companies in the world. Probably the biggest company in Korea, so you can probably imagine what company that is. They make TVs. But I'm not going to get into too much. So we definitely have some announcements that we're going to be making after the Clayton Tune swap in the future. And I don't foresee there being that much longer of a wait time between full launch of the project from when that Clayton Tune swap happens. And in fact, quite frankly, I can't really talk about our agreement with Clayton, but there will be use cases. I would say within a month or two.
Within a month or two, okay. And
not all the use cases, but certainly a couple.
Sure. All right. And then people will then be able to use the TuneToken within the Creator App ecosystem. That'll be useful for them.
That's right. It's and I talked to other projects, other credible projects like Tune and Creator App, and there's still a balance, right? Because I want to tap into the blockchain crypto stuff. I want to get press and publicity in the blockchain crypto stuff. But the blockchain crypto people are different than the people who are currently using Creator App, my amateur musicians that are currently using Creator App. So it has to be a balance as to when do we go 100% decentralized, 100% TuneToken use, no fiat currency use. We're not there yet. The crypto blockchain industry is not outside of DeFi, but DeFi is for crypto blockchain people. We're not there yet. Yeah. So I don't want to limit and hamper for any, whether it's a D app or a centralized app or however people want to qualify it. You need users of your product. If you're a D app and you're the coolest D app in crypto and blockchain, that's great. But if you have 1,000 users, who gives a shit? Yeah. So there's a nice fine line to juggle. And the thing that I like about Clayton is they said this to us also. So they weren't like, Eric, you have to be completely de-app, completely de-app. No, they're like, let's just introduce the use cases slowly and bring your current audience over into the blockchain space. And quite frankly, we're relying on them also because they have those 50 million Cacao users. And if I had 50 million users using Creator App, I wouldn't care if they were using, TuneToken or Korean won. I wouldn't care at this point. And then hopefully migrate them over to the TuneToken. So again, like I said, we're building the infrastructure for tomorrow, not for today.
Okay. And just on users, roughly how many people are using the Creator App regularly now? How many downloads have you had?
Yeah, well, we don't give specific numbers out for multiple reasons, but we have over 100,000 downloads of the application. Some may say that's not technically a lot, although in blockchain crypto it's a lot. But for us, it's really about the quality that we have coming through our pipeline, and then that quality talent actually getting discovered and signed by a major label. And as I mentioned earlier, we have one artist that already happened to, which is another announcement we'll be making in the near future. Because once that artist takes their career to the next level, once they're on TV, once they're on radio stations globally, what are they going to be talking about? They're going to be saying, hey, I got discovered off of Creator App. I got discovered off of Creator App. Now people around the world are going to go to Creator App and they're going to discover the TuneToken. And so that's kind of like the trajectory that we see with this application. For any business, the best way that any business advertises is word of mouth. Word of mouth is obviously the hardest thing to get. You trust something if your friend tells you than if you see it on a television commercial. And 99% of the people in the world trust something that their friend tells them versus what they see on TV. And when you're growing when you're growing any business, and specifically when you're growing applications, the same is true. It's very difficult to succeed in the app game, decentralized or not. Very, very difficult. But if your closest friends, family members tell you to check out an application, you're more likely to do it. If somebody whose music you like was discovered off of this platform and they say, I was discovered because of Creator App, and you want to be a musician, you're going to go download Creator App because that star musician told you that that's where they got discovered from. So, and these stories don't happen overnight. They take a while. And that's what we're in the process of building. That's where we see our business and the future of the music industry headed.
Right. Okay. And then for those, as the ecosystem builds and expands and it gets more and more successful, as you go from 100,000 downloads to, I don't know, 10 million downloads through just the Korean market, then what will happen to the Tune tokens? Because they're limited in supply.
That's right. The price of the content on Creator App will not change. So if a beat, an instrumental is $5 now, it will be $5 if Tune is $10 on the exchange. What changes is how much Tune they'll have to use to access that beat. So they're still able to access the content. It's just the price, the amount of Tune that they get for that content will change with the daily price of Tune on whatever exchange or exchanges it's trading on. But the Tune price, the price of the beats won't change, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now, even though you're focusing on Korea, there's nothing to stop somebody anywhere else in other parts of the world, the UK, Britain, Australia, France, wherever, to download the Creator App and begin to use it, take part in the Tune token ecosystem.
By all means, I mean, the app right now is translated in Japanese and Korean. Those are the only foreign languages that the app is currently in. So by all means, anyone in the UK can download Creator App on iOS and create original content. Don't let the nonsense I'm talking about with Korea hurt you.
Yeah, and I do get what you're saying about the difference between focusing on Korea. I think the only people in the world who speak Korean are the North Korean and South Korean nationals, right? If you focus on the US, you're in trouble because you got Britain and India and Australia and Canada and many other places too. Okay, now if people want to get involved, they join the Telegram group, go look through the website. I'll follow you on Twitter. I'll have all the links in the description below. Is there anything else you want to say that we haven't covered?
No, not really. We've definitely covered a lot. I know I talk fast and I talk a lot, but it's because this blockchain stuff and this music stuff is not something that I just dreamed up and wrote a white paper. We spent years building the blockchain token side of our platform, and we spent many more years before that designing and coming up with music technology solutions for artists and musicians. What I didn't mention is that my two co-founders, Mims is maybe I mentioned, is a multi-platinum recording artist. He had the #1 record in the world in 2007 called "This Is Why I'm Hot." which most of your audience, if they're under the age of 50, is familiar with that record. And my other co-founder is Winston Thomas. Stage name is Blackout. He's a Grammy award-winning music producer who's produced for everyone from Nicki Minaj to Pitbull to he's producing for everybody. That guy, he's a lunatic. So our team is comprised of music executives that have been in the business our entire lives, and then obviously our team is the foundation of our team. Obviously, well, not the foundation, but the complementary aspect of our team comes from the technology side. So we have an amazing tech team that's developing we have a separate team that develops the iOS and Android platform for Creator App, and then we have a separate team that develops the TuneToken and the smart contract design, smart contract blockchain design that we're integrating with Creator App. And at the head of this beast is me. So and I am very accessible.
This beast breathes blockchain and beats, as far as I can tell.
Did you say blockchain and beats? I like that.
That's right. You breathe blockchain and beats.
Yeah, I like that. I'm obviously a nerd in this space, and a lot of people, when they hear music blockchain, maybe even a lot of your audience, they compare music blockchain to like 2 or 3 projects. Oh, you're just like XYZ project. You're just like this project. No, there's a lot of different use cases for blockchain when it comes to the music business. There's ticketing, there's merchandising, there's rights, royalty transparency, there's artist rewards, there's creator rewards, there's fan rewards, which is what we're really focused on. So there's a lot of different use cases, and I actually did a report and I published it. So if anyone's interested, they can Google blockchain music comparison chart, I think is what I called it, blockchain music comparison chart. I posted it on my Medium page. There's about 60 to 70, and this was last year I did the report, it's about 60 to 70 global music blockchain projects. Less than 10 of them actually have a trading token or native token to their project that's actually listed on an exchange right now, and we're at the forefront of that. We're one of those top 10 companies that actually have a trading token that's listed on an exchange. But we're also, in my humble opinion, the most advanced in terms of who we have on our team, as well as the amount of awards and people that are backing us and supporting us from the investment side. So if you're interested in music, if you have a passion for music and or blockchain, please look us up and do your research. And I'm easily accessible.
Yes, indeed, through the Telegram group. And I want to thank everybody. I just need to adjust my light. Notice the light fading.
Hold on, we're gonna go to Cuba now. There we go. Now we're in Cuba.
Have you ever been to Cuba?
Yeah.
You're in Miami, aren't you? Right?
That's me right there.
Oh my God, I'd love to go.
It's me right there.
I'd love to go to Cuba.
I went to Cuba before Donald Trump became president, because I knew that as soon as he became president, it was going to be trouble to get to Cuba. So when Obama opened up the borders and allowed us to travel there, I took the first flight smoking. It's not that far from Miami. So
how was it?
Beautiful place. Obviously, it's old school, right? The cars are like 50s and 60s cars. But the people there are unfortunately oppressed. So very. The people were really welcoming and really nice. Like I said, Cuba is like a throwback, but it's absolutely beautiful. But what I find as beautiful, I don't think that the Cubans find it that beautiful. I think they'd like to have a 2020 automobile in the country. I think that they would love to earn their own money. And some of the capitalistic ways of our society, I think that they would obviously like to be a part of that. And like food rationing in Cuba is a real thing, and quite honestly, it sucks. But Cuba was beautiful to visit.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut that bit out, by the way, about Cuba. That's just between you.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Okay,
so good. They might not ever let me go back there.
I'm going to have all the links in the description below so people can find out and do their own research and go join the Telegram group. And if you have any comments or questions, please put them in the description below. Have you bought some TuneToken? Would you buy some TuneToken? Are you a musician? Do you love music? Is this something that you use? And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Rich and Crypto Eric signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.